This live event coverage is brought to you by Whole Being Institute, an educational organization focusing on learning and living the science of human flourishing. Take a free week-long course on positive psychology at wholebeinginstitute.com/7day. Hi, I'm Christina Suzuma with YogaHub.tv here at the Faces, Wisdom, and Compassion Conference in San Diego, California. And with me is Phoebe Atkinson. And I am continuing my journey with this certificate in positive psychology with Whole Being Institute because I am so curious about this program. Hello, Phoebe. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, I'm glad to talk to you about a program that is near and dear to my heart.
Fantastic. Now you are a graduate, right, of the program itself, SIP program.
Yes, I was a student in the inaugural SIP 1 that was at Kripalu the first year, and I had an amazing experience, and the following year I applied to become a teaching assistant, and then since then I've been on the faculty, I've been contributing in many different roles, so the journey continues.
That's almost 5 years ago, isn't it?
Yes, we have a 5th course now that's running.
So you are now part of the faculty, and can you tell us what you're doing in your place in the faculty?
Yes. One of the things that I'm very passionate about is people living and working their own passions. So one of the passions that I brought to this program was my focus on people learning together with each other. And one of the specialties that I have is teamwork and group work. So I create some of the conditions around team building and working with the teaching assistants to create these study groups where they can really help people flourish and kind of cultivate the practices that help them to incorporate the learning and have all throughout the year these kind of feedback loops where people can write reflections and post and have all those practices then as part of their learning.
Oh, that's magnificent. So you're like creating them and putting them on the path of these tools that they could use during the program.
Yes, there's so many tools. Sometimes people have said the fire hose metaphor, that there's so much coming at everyone because there's so much knowledge available and there's a lot of practices, so we can really cultivate practices. So there's tools such as the focus on strengths, there's savoring, there's mindfulness, there's a lot of goal setting and really helping people to ask the questions that are most meaningful and important to them as to their intrinsic motivation and helping them to really find their best self. So the teaching assistants and also some of the things that I help with our team helps them to kind of be a mirror and reflect back to the students their best self.
Wow, that's very powerful work.
Yes, I see the effects of it. The people go through the program and they call it transformative, and the teaching assistant team as well. We kind of sprinkle the seeds of greatness, and we water the seeds of greatness within the students and really help them to actualize a lot of their own personal and professional goals.
That's amazing. So all year long, you are actually with your team that is part of the program. You are working with the students almost on a one-on-one basis, by the sounds of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, it's a very unique program. I think you've already been talking to some of the other faculty that we have these learning circles. So we have a small study group experience, we have the virtual platform, we have in-person learning, and then we have the larger community. We have calls and a lot of interaction with teaching assistants and with all the faculty. So students are peer mentoring each other. They're being mentored by teaching assistants that have gone through the program already. And then we also have the faculty that is readily available. So it's a very rich garden that people can experience.
It sounds like because the question with a lot of online learning is, and I had brought up before with one of your other graduates, was people's concern where they feel alone and they are learning alone and there's no interaction with others. But what I'm hearing from you is that there's a lot of almost, I won't say hand-holding, but a lot of group work together.
Yes, what we're doing is really cultivating and providing the conditions for people to be at their best in terms of learning. And we know that people learn in many different ways. So we have the accountability of a small group, of a teaching assistant. We have a lot of one-on-one interaction. So they can really use their own self-determination in terms of what they know is the best way they can learn.
Very exciting program. It sounds like you are sticking right with this and carrying on.
Yes, and the richness of all of the material is something that you can keep circling around, and that's really part of the model of the whole Being Institute and the certification, is that we continue to learn and systematically layer the learning, and as we practice it and apply it to our lives, we of course internalize, and we have that intrinsic way and that implicit memory of really learning very deeply kind of in ourselves. And once we practice that and apply it to our own lives, then we can serve it forward with our families, our institutions, our communities. So there's a lot of different levels that the program really, the opportunity to learn and then to apply it to other areas of one's life.
Yes. I mean, it truly says a lot about the program when you have the alumni coming back and continuing to work with the program, and clearly, as it is for you and others as well. Now, can you tell us a little bit about what brought you into the program as well? How you came in contact with it at first, with the original program?
Sure. Well, I design and work in a lot of settings, both in organizations and in clinical practices, where we work in groups and in teams, and that's really my passion. I always joke that I was born into a large family, so I was already acclimated to groups and teams, and so that's really my passion, is learning environments, how we learn with and from each other, and how we create really healthy teams. There's a lot of research now, and in this program we blend positive psychology research with some of the foundational models of groups and teams.
And so you still do that also?
Yes, I have a lot of different roles and hats that I wear. I work in corporate settings. I teach at universities. I teach the trainers how to create healthy groups and teams. And then I work, of course, with our teaching assistants, and they are mentoring their students. So we create our own team, and we have goals that we set with each other. And then so the learning continues for the teaching assistants as well.
That's magnificent. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you for your work.
Yes, thank you so much. And good luck this coming year here on the West Coast.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much. I'm Christina Suzuma with YogaHub.tv. I mean, this program sounds really magnificent, doesn't it? And look forward to seeing you there. I would love to go there myself. So here on the West Coast of California this year, 2016. Thank you so much, and join us again. Namaste.
The most foundational and one of my personal favorites is the Certificate in Positive Psychology. This is our foundational program because it's a long-term positive change aspect. So it's a 12-month program. It has 10 modules, 2 of which are on site, 8 of which are online.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because if you're going to instill change over a long period of time, it's not just learning about it, but it's actually engaging in habits and behavior change that support you in the direction that you wish to head.